What's up, guys? Ian of Winter Dust Stuff here with the first current winter ecosystem Q&A. I'm going to be posting this video on each of the main two YouTube channels, Winter Dust Stuff and Reminiscent Industries, so that all questions can be answered in a, precise way, and so that both audiences can see that the questions have been answered. Now, I want to say that these questions I took from both Discord and one of them from Twitter, and I will be listing all of them off. I'm kind of planning to do this in one whole take, and I'm going to be adding a whole bunch of edits, in post-production, so that you guys can get the full experience, per se. So, I think we're going to start. The first three questions are from Mughead Productions, who has been an active member of my community, particularly on the Reminiscent Industries side of things, with my Lone Wolf music covers and the Ranking Songs live streams that with question one of: who or what do you consider to be your main inspiration for your song covers? Well, I don't really think you need to ask that, because particularly with Reminiscent Industries, you can see all of the bands and artists that I cover on there: Lone Wolf Music, Iris, Dragon Force, Monuments, Lorna Shore. There's so many artists and bands that have influenced me over the years, and there are many more on the way. Famous Last Words is coming in pretty cleanly here. Linkin Park is going to be one that I'll do. Ice Nine Kills is going to be one that I'll do. I eventually plan to cover OK Goodnight Stuff. I actually made a bet that was really stupid involving OK Goodnight Stuff, but I'll talk about that later on. But yeah, there are just so many bands and artists that have influenced me, and Reminiscent Industries is my way, or at least the Winter Society, that project is the best way I can show that appreciation, because I'm very thankful that my life has been filled with as much good music as it has been. Otherwise, my life would suck. So question two is: who was your favorite musical artist / band growing up? I don't particularly know. The band that comes to mind, especially nowadays, is Linkin Park. I think Linkin Park, maybe Breaking Benjamin too. Those two bands really helped me discover what my musical style is today. There's so much that those two bands showed me. They showed me the heavier side of things, yes, but particularly Breaking Benjamin, they helped me expand into not just the heavier side of things, but a much better musical mind in general. They showed me that you don't just have to be heavy or light. You can be a mix of the two. You can be combinations of so many different things. And Breaking Benjamin is just one of those bands where everything, my opinion, that they put out is just a straight banger. And Linkin Park with Chester Bennington, my favorite vocalist to ever hold a mic, left us way too soon, and he's the main reason I do metal music, because I want to create an impact similar to him. I know I'll never, I doubt I'll ever reach his level, but Chester Bennington, man, inspiration to literally everybody in the metal scene. And number three from Mughead: what is the main inspiration for The Fall, the Winter Does Stuff series? The Fall is weird, because it started as a story where I could put myself into the body of someone fictional. It was somewhere where I could escape originally. And the thing about that is because of my life experience, because of my trauma experience, because of so many things that I've gone through, the fall has changed a lot over the years. And as a matter of fact, this current iteration of this story is literally 10 years in the making. The fall as a concept turns 10 this August. And the fact that I can even say that out loud is insane to think about. I created the first character, Jeff Alistair. I'm not going to show his design, I don't think, but I created him August 21st, 2013. And he's been a character that I have loved ever since. He's been a character that has been intertwined with me as a person. He was originally a self-insert back then, but as people know, he's grown into something much different now. I think the main literary inspirations for the fall have been Ender's Game, for one. That entire series by Orson Scott Card, it has been a primary influence, the sci-fi stuff that's in there. I would definitely say that the Percy Jackson series has been a big influence because of the figures in the archive. They're very based off of Greek and Roman mythologies, and I kind of haven't been very opaque about that. I've been pretty transparent in saying that the archive story is not, like, at its core, it's not an original concept whatsoever. It is a very common trope of gods and goddesses being reduced, I guess, to a human level where you can understand what they're doing. Like, you can understand their emotions even though they're beings of such high power. But I think it's the simple fact of how I do that makes the fall as unique as it is. So thank you, Mughead, for those 3 questions. And now we have Memory Nightmare, with the message of, "Heyo Ian, it's Memory, friend and thumbnail creator for WDS, Winter Does Stuff. Have a few questions for you." It's kind of why I'm here. Question 1 is, what is your favorite cover that you have mastered so far? Released and unreleased, if you want. Okay, so this is interesting because released, I would have to say the remake of Inside the Winter Storm. That song will always be one of my favorites that I've ever done. It is currently out on the channel. It is very, underviewed for my content. A lot of my covers nowadays get upwards of 50 views, and that one only has 37 comparatively, so if you guys could check that one out, that'd be great. And unreleased, I would have to say it's another one from the Dragon Force cover project. Dawn Over a New World from the Dragon's Charge Volume 3. By the way, at the time of recording this, Volume 2 is already finished. It is already set to premiere on September 15th, where I'm making my big return. I'll talk about that in a later video that I'll probably post around September time so that you guys know exactly what's going on with that day. But yeah, Dawn Over a New World is my favorite unreleased cover currently. Number 2, who is your favorite and least favorite character in the fall so far? And in parentheses, thanks for doing stuff for the arc. By the way, context to that last bit, Memory Nightmare has been doing reactions for the fall content, which super fucking appreciate it. Like, oh my god, reactions are probably the best way to get word spread around something, like on the online space these days, and Memory being able to react to them is just so fucking cool. Thank you so much for doing it. And in the last few endings of the reactions that she's been doing, she's actually been building up a story of her own, and I have provided character voices that I have already offered to the fall to lend help with her story, which has been really cool. do because I love voicing these characters. I think I'll start with least favorite because it's a tie between two of them. It's a tie between Devlin Dark, who is he's the literary embodiment of all of my darkest impulses and desires. He's just a shit human being. He unfortunately has one of the best designs in the series. I probably won't show it. I'll probably show like a silhouette of it. And the tie between Devlin is between the above, the god figure in the story. The above is just such a piece of shit. And I mean, like, I've specifically built them to be that way because I hate the idea of religion. I hate it so much. And I thought the best way to portray that in a series that encapsulates my thoughts and my morals is to make the being that is effectively God a total asshole, a total piece of shit, and a total fuckstick that can go just die. So yeah, those are the least favorites. And favorite? I honestly... I right now, honestly, I can only pick one, and that is Richard Price. He is by far the most developed character in the story. He starts off as this snarky, unmoving, like, with morals, but like so uptight with his morals and his values that he's just an unbearable asshole to everybody. But throughout the series, he becomes a very shattered person. A lot of things happen to his character that just really make you feel bad for him. And I think that is one of the most... I've always said that character trauma is the best way of character development. And that's true. Your character goes through something that shakes them to their core, and it makes them change. And Richard is the prime example of that, because this man goes through so many changes and is definitely the most developed character. At least in the Negativity Saga, I would say. Out of the Fall, I think he falls behind only one, but I haven't even really talked about that character much, so you guys wouldn't even know what I'm talking about with that one. And finally, question number 3. If someone wants to get into music, where should they start? Well, here's the answer for that. Don't. Like, honestly, okay. I'm going to say this from a non-biased perspective because personally, music has been one of the most objectively good choices that I have made, but also one of the worst. If you want to get into music, don't do it for anyone else but yourself. If you have this idea that you're doing it for a selective audience of people, or that you're doing it for other reasons than just to have fun, you shouldn't. Because goddamn, does that put a weight on your shoulders. It puts a curse on you to continuously churn out content. And it's a curse that I admittedly feel a lot, but especially in the beginning of 2022, I felt it come over me like a storm. It was one of the worst times of my entire life. And realistically, 2022 was the worst year of my life. And the beginning of that year was just... It was kind of like a red warning sign just saying, hold up, this year's gonna be fucked for you. So watch out, because this is the beginning and it's only gonna get worse from here. But yeah, I really think that anyone who wants to go into music should only do it for themselves. If they have the idea that it's a form of content, just don't do it, because that will put a huge weight on your shoulders. It'll just put you in a state of consistent dread, and it's not fun. it's really not a good time. And I don't recommend it to anyone if they have that view on music. Now, next person with questions is BBB, or Brandon, leader of, or co-owner of the Golden Trio and his own channel, BBB. With number one, in regards to life in general, how are you currently feeling? Thank you for asking this question. You're the only one who asked that to me. Thank you. Honestly, I've been a lot better. I really don't want to get too into it because personal life is just a mess, but it's going on the upswing. I'm starting to get a lot better, I think, than I was at the start of this month. At the start of this month, like maybe the end of last month, it's June, by the way, that I'm recording this. I don't know if I'll have this out in June or July, so that's why I'm saying that. But at like the start of this month, I was in a really shit place, but now I'm kind of doing better. I'm doing a lot better. Question 2. In the fall... Oh, God, fuck. Why did I accept this question? What would you say is your favorite series so far? Pre-Negative Cognition or Rise with Negativity? Brandon, I swear to God, this man has been an avid supporter of my channel. But he also knows that I am terrible with these types of decisions. And I can provide the screenshot. I asked him, why the hell would you ask me this? And his only response was chaos. So, the truest answer is that I don't know, because the Negativity Saga and Pre-Negative Cognition, both 1 and 2, are very, very different from each other. It's like trying to choose between your own kids. It's like you know which parts of which kid that you hate, but you love them both equally. But if I had to choose one of the two, I would definitely say that Pre-Negative Cognition is much more leaning towards the story that I want to tell for the fall in its grander scale. I think while the Negativity, like Rise with Negativity, is enjoyable to write as mostly a standalone story, I think Pre-Negative Cognition is something very good for me to look at when looking at the future of the series as it goes forward. And number 3, what can you tell us about future collabs? I guess it depends on what you mean, because you did put in parentheses music, reactions, all that. I don't currently have any reaction collaborations, I don't think. But for music, I am working on the Vanguard and the Defenders of the Dam project, which that involves a lot of features. I might have somebody on the original album that I'm working on, Reminiscent Desolation, which I don't intend to be out anytime fucking soon. Like, that's a long way off. But there's one track that would need a feature. I don't really know. There's not a lot of collaboration stuff other than, you know, the fall, which consistent collaborators are Memory Nightmare. And, I mean, there is one voice I want to get in, but I don't think he has the schedule right now to be able to do that. I don't know. I'll have to ask him. But he's a good friend of mine. I've announced that he's included in the fall before as the voice of Marcus, for those of you who do know. But that's about it for Brandon's questions. Thank you very much for asking those. Now, the next 5 questions are from Oblivion. PNA, Oblivion Productions, has been an avid supporter of the channel, and I can't thank him enough for that. Number 1, how do I know you aren't a figment of my imagination or a new deranged Elon Musk invention? You see, Oblivion, you don't. Where do you get the motivation to cover an entire album? You say that as if I have any motivation to do anything at all. Most of the time, I legitimately want to just stay in my bed, sleep and wither away. Honestly, I really don't know. Cover albums were just an idea that I thought of to do to pass the time, and now it's just become kind of a staple of my content that I'm like, oh, I'll just pick a cover album. That one. Number 3, is form the meaning of life or just the best modern cult? You assume that either of those are correct. Number 4, how much arson is committed in the fall? Actual arson? I think only Devlin and Andrea are responsible for any actual legitimate arson. But in terms of like structures being damaged, a lot. Entire galaxies, entire universes are destroyed in the story. So, I mean, if that counts for anything. And number 5, what is your favorite color? Royal purple. I love all shades of purple. Purple is the best color ever. And if you do not agree with that, then you are a fool. You are dumb. I just do not respect you if you do not agree that purple is just the best color there ever is. Close second being cyan. And now, the final questions from Discord. From Hello Unknown, with the caption of, "Hello, I have questions."
That's why I'm here.
Number 1, how did you first hear Will's music? I assume you're talking about Will Ryan, DA Games. I've actually told this story many times before. I first originally found Will's music through the old Will Ryan channel, the ones that had Onyx Colony music attached to it, along with the very old cover of My Curse from Killswitch Engage, which was downright awful for, like, even for Will stuff back then. That just wasn't very good. I first found him through there, and I want to say 2016, like Q3 of 2016, I found Dream On, the Undertale song. It was the first song that I actually found from DA Games content, and I've kind of stuck with him ever since. I love Will's music. I love Will as a person. He's just an awesome guy. He's a stand-up dude, and I will continue to support him until probably like the end of my days. I won't interact with the community as much given things that happened, but yeah, I love Will's music. It's something I will always cherish. Doesn't mean I'll always cover it, though. It's getting kind of boring covering the same stuff over and over. Question 2 from Hello Unknown. Are you inside my house? I don't know, am I? Number 3. What do you think of Zoophiles? 3 words. Animals cannot consent. Number 4, have you considered doing reaction requests? Well, I have something for you, my friend. So at the end of every single reaction video that I do on my channel, I tell people, tell me what you think of the reaction in the comments and whatever things you want me to react to next. There is a chat in the Discord and this comment section for you to request literally anything. However, specific requests may be no, just because of, copyright or sensitive material in whatever video you send, but pretty much just send me any video that you want me to react to, or any show or movie that you want me to react to. I'm thinking of doing that soon. And yeah, just tell me what it is, and I'll probably consider adding it to the list. We're almost at 100 reactions, by the way. I just put out reaction 97 today, which is fucking awesome. And finally, number 5 from Hello Unknown. Have you ever fallen up the stairs? That's an interesting question, and I have to say, now there is one more question on the Twitter side of things, which is from Ryuk. Ryuk is an artist that I am working on a very special secret project, which we are doing. Maybe announcements coming soon. I don't really know. We'll have to schedule stuff for that. But he asks, how high can you go and how low can you growl, I believe? My vocal range is from A1 to, I believe, G#6. I believe that was it the last time I checked, And how low can I growl? Hold on, I'm gonna... Yeah, that's about it. And that was it for the official Winter Ecosystem Q&A. I hope you guys enjoyed the questions and the answers that I've provided. If you like what you saw, leave a like, comment on what you thought of the Q&A. Comment what songs you want me to cover, what reactions you want me to do. Any kind of video content I will probably do on either Reminiscent Industries or Winter Does Stuff, depending on the questions asked and where these videos are posted, because I am going to be posting both of them on both of the channels. So with that in mind, I've been Ian of the Winter Ecosystem. Peace in due time.